We are voices of the divine, hearts awake and we don't deny. Through this calling deep inside, no more fear, no more divide. We've seen the shadows, felt the pain, yeah. But we're not here to live in chains. The fire's rising in our soul. There's a higher purpose taking hold. Divine GPMS, feel the call. We rise together and standing tall. This is more than just a name. We are here to spark the flame. Add your energy, take your stand. Then healing flows through every hand. This is how the shift is done. We all unite and rise as one. Oh, yeah. No more shouting at the pain. We're the ones who bring the change. Yeah. We're not just seeing what is wrong. Yeah. We're creating something strong. From the ashes, from the dust. Ooh, we're creating something built on trust. Every soul that signs their name adds their light into the flame.
It's time for the whole world to unite and stand against the tyranny which is happening worldwide. And let it be known, the Divine GPMS is for everyone. Every nation, every race, every religion, every gender, and every soul.
No matter your past or your path, you are welcome here. We stand for peace, unity, equality, freedom, and love. This is where every voice matters, because every consent carries energy. So if you feel the call, trust it.
Divine GPMS,
Feel the call.
we rise together and standing tall.
Oh, yeah. This is more than just a name.
We are here to spark the flame.
Add your energy, take your stand.
Oh,
Then the healing flows through every hand. This is how the shift is done. Now ascension has begun. Oh, yes, it has.
Divine-gpms.world is a worldwide cumulative gathering of consents for every child, woman and man to ratify and enact into law worldwide the all-inclusive replacement system of money and law worldwide, as outlined on the consenting website of Divine-gpms.world. It is imperative that all worldwide take a couple of minutes and consent to add your accord, children included.
Greetings to everyone. We are on the meeting divine-gpms.org It is an open public worldwide meeting. We are on July 26, 2026, and we have with us guardians from all around the world. Also, the Mother Nia with the children situation, a very, very important international right now recognized case. And also Rick George, he's the founder of GPMS. Hi Rick, and also hi Nia. It is so important to see you here, Nia. So, what is really happening on your side in Austria with the case with the children? Are the children finally at home, or what is happening there?
No, the children are not at home. I don't have currently any contact with them. I mean, we have prepared a lot of documents. We have proven everything, right? But you can see that they are acting unlawful. So they are twisting and using the law how they want to do it. What I can see, it's escalating more and more in Germany and Austria and also other places as well. So this is the current point. But what I'm seeing also, we have planted a lot of seeds along the way, meaning like more and more parents are speaking up also in public, doing videos as well. But also divinely specific situation are orchestrated as well, which shows more and more about the nefarious intent from them taking the children.
Yes, I understand. So what I can see here, something new, we have a seal, and it is also an explanation on Divine-gpms.world website that I wish to share with everyone about the seal. Probably right now, everybody can see what it is happening here. We have the foundation of a new civilization, educational series of divine-gpms.org. And it is about the seal where the divine plan, it is recognizing the name of God, the God of everything that it is good. And also, we said all the time, we are an universal nation, receiving everyday consent, and with every consent, we just come bigger and bigger. And for all the people to start to understand, this is on pink, a very beautiful color, probably the Mary Magdalene color, as I know, universal jurisdiction. So, Divine-gpms.org has universal jurisdiction and has over the 400,000 members. And I would like also to hear a little bit from Rick George what it is this universal jurisdiction, how it is working, because we have our courts on our life today under common law, civil law, and what it is this universal jurisdiction as divine-gpms.org promotes do no harm law, divine law, or it is also known as universal laws, cosmic laws, natural laws. So it has a lot of names with very few differences or almost none. So what it is this universal jurisdiction and how it is working? Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Beatrice. Well, jurisdiction is typically the authority to act. And in the case of GPMS, if you will, it's a universal nation. And the people are the actual founding authority upon Earth. So, because of this, there is the people's jurisdiction that comes along with it. But we also say some might have heard of people's courts in the past. And what occurs when you have tyranny in any nation or worldwide, the authority always reverts to the people as the last resort. And currently, worldwide, we are seeing this with so many nations violating what is called international law, practicing war, genocide, apartheid, and oppression and suppression worldwide. These have already been named as crimes in international law, crimes against humanity. But what has occurred, international law is only more or less a gentleman's agreement, which means there is nobody to enforce it other than the people themselves. However, within international law, it is not designed for the true authority, the true jurisdiction where it comes from, the people. The mechanism is not put in international law because international law is actually designed as part of the illusion of the existing capitalistic system and artificial man-made laws worldwide. So in actuality, no governments or no laws would exist if not supported by the majority of the people. And again, in the past, the governments took authority and jurisdiction by only offering the people the choice to choose their system that they were in control of. So, what has occurred divinely to transition humanity out of that control that goes deep into causing poverty, separation, all of these things, violence, war worldwide. So, divinely, GPMS is the transitioning tool to transition people into their lawful, rightful authority and to transition the entire civilization of Earth into a civilized state. It needs to be known currently this is a very primitive, savage world where morality has been suppressed and disguised as something else and taken away from the individuals, but by doing that, took it away from all societies. And simply, let's say one knows that it's wrong to kill innocent women and children, no matter if it's in war or what have you. This is wrong, definitely wrong. But what you see is that there were ones in power that supposedly were supported by the people to carry these things out. And I name the US constantly and consistently out as one of these rogue nations that does this. And I also correctly identify the military complexes worldwide that that does the bidding of the darkness theirself to cause, provoke wars, to create stories that don't exist, to attempt to justify their attacks on other nations. And with the US, if you will, it becomes very obvious. And this also ties back in because the people are awakening to morality in the US as well, but not only the US, worldwide. Look at Europe and look at all of the nations in Europe, how they did not stand against Israel and the US in this Palestinian genocide. This becomes obvious to the people that something is wrong when you have over 70 or 80,000 innocent women and children in Palestine killed. There is no justification for that. And when you see the US funding this, sending not only money so the Israeli can pay their military to do this, but also supplying them with weapons. You don't need to be a politician or a sophisticated, educated one to see that this is morally wrong. And when we take it further and we look at all of the other nations worldwide not stepping up to stop this, these other nations become complicit, meaning they become an accomplice to the crime because they did not stand together to stop it as well. And many people are saying this. I just glanced at what they call the Samud, I believe, flotilla. Please forgive me if I have this wrong, but what has occurred with some of them and what I saw yesterday, and yes, I got to speak about Greta Thorburn because she is doing an amazing, righteous job. She has come under attack in the past. However, what she is standing for is morally consistent with morality as a whole. And what she is doing is right. But what we see, and I think it was in perhaps Denmark, but please again forgive me where this is at. The government began to charge them at attempting to take food to a Palestinian people, to allow them to starve. These things are very dark, it's very sinister. But nevertheless, getting back what's occurring in the US has a backlog of renunciation applications. And what this means is ones in the US are renouncing their US citizenship. They no longer wish to be identified with the US or be labeled an American. Now, with this, with the renunciation, not only in the US, also the UK and other countries, but with a renunciation of a citizenship, these ones need another country in this present system to become a citizen of. However, we are in the unprecedented transitory time of humanity advancing out of nationality and into universality, if you will. And because of this, each one in every nation worldwide are no longer condemned or confined to a nationality. They are actually on earth and they become, if you will, a universal citizen. The only universal nation is GPMS worldwide. And this is the universal citizenship, if you will. Now, with the words and the labels like citizenship, civil, we are evolving these words forward. There are higher words that relieve ones of those past negative connotations and imprints. But during this transitioning, we need to use some of these words that the public can identify with. When we begin using other higher proper words, those are foreign words to them, and they don't know what they mean. So there are times with the words we will use person, if you will, which is actually a legal denomination of a person that they use in their laws and corporations. But having said this, with people, they don't even know all of the illusion, what has been perpetrated upon them by the darkness. Most of the people worldwide just think politicians and governments are just bad people. They don't know the higher truth, and we don't have time to teach all of humanity what actually has occurred. Divine GPMS is Father God's plan, And just yesterday, again, I asked Father, what do we do with GPMS? Continue forward. It is the plan. Father said the Christ revival worldwide, the belief in God is happening. Anyone can look worldwide. You see more and more that are stepping into the goodness, into their morality and what is right. And they are identifying and connected with the representation of what is good, which is God, which is Jesus Christ, are two examples of what is good, at least. And what we see also is more standing up against this wicked genocide, wicked war, wicked suppression, wicked induced poverty by the system worldwide, regardless if ones think that the darkness is still in power. No, they're not. People are not seeing what has occurred. Many people have been censored by the darkness, by the mainstream medias, by governments, but that has not stopped the people from organizing and going forward. It's growing and growing and growing because on Earth, 6 billion are human souls. The other 2 billion are not, but it doesn't matter about the 2 billion. The majority are the 6 billion. And these souls are designated to go into a civilized reality that is being created now. GPMS is that direction, it's what does it. So nothing stops the omnipotency power of God. It doesn't matter if one believes in God or not. These things are happening. You cannot refute nor deny the worldwide floods, the devastation, the fires, um, the genocide, all of these, the persecution, even, which is becoming more blatant worldwide, persecution of anyone that believes in God and believes in the good example of brother Jesus Christ, if you will. You know, as an example with Nya's case in Austria, what we have is a psychological evaluator and 4 judges from 2 levels of courts using Nya's beliefs of angels against her as a reason to take her children, which is absolutely absurd. Now, with this, we have given this not only to all of Austria, internationally, worldwide, to family courts, to rights commissions, Europe, you name it. We put it worldwide. No response. They ignore it because they are also complicit. They are part of it. They don't want to destruct it because they are involved with taking the children. So the people must unite together and stand against this. And it is occurring in Germany, Hungary, and Switzerland and Austria. There are parents and parent groups, if you will, that are organizing. They're becoming more, some of them more aggressive to the extent that some of them were taking the law into their own hands because they see that the system is corrupt, that it's intentionally designed to take the children. So the reason I'm saying this, it cannot be covered up any longer. More and more of the people are seeing it, and the old world is imploding. At the same time that the divine world, the universal nation of GPMS, which is backed fully by Father God. It is his plan, whether ones do not believe it or if ones believe it or not. It is happening. It is occurring. And the thing is, for those that believe and trust in it, remain steadfast, and we keep taking it forward because there is nothing else. GPMS is foundationed fully within law, within righteousness, within morality, within goodness, abundance, peace. It's all of those good things, and it gives everything to everyone the way it should be. No one should be suffering or in lack on this planet. And what I can guarantee, that way of being is not going to continue much longer. The entire earth is ready to advance into civilization out of this savage, primitive world. And when Father God says something like this, yes, God is real, whether ones believe it or not, you listen to what I say and watch what happens. It's already happening, but if you need to see more for skeptical ones, you're going to see more. As I speak, the fires are expanding all around the world. Unprecedented floods with vehicles and even houses floating down the streets. This is unprecedented. And look in your skies. How much more do you need to see to believe? It's not up to I or any of us to persuade ones to believe in God. Our focus is on gathering those that already believe and those that know and that know what is actually happening. So the jurisdiction is actually with the people. Governments would not exist without the people. Law would not exist without the people. So, in times of great tyranny worldwide like this, the highest law on earth is the majority of the people themselves. The next supreme law above that is the divine law of Father God, which is creation, Mother Nature. It's all one. And no one, no human or any alien on earth can stand against the power of God. And that's why I say this is guaranteed, and it always is, unless Father changes his plan. But when I just checked in again, no, we take this forward because this is for the children of God. So when we have things like a universal nation and a divine plan, and what we're doing with GPMS, this is very real and it's very powerful. And this is the future for humanity. Nothing stops this. It doesn't matter about any darkness or any what you would call Satan doesn't exist anymore. The devil, if you will, Lucifer, he no longer exists. He was taken out in 2012. There may be ones that believe that he does, ones that believe in Satanism, but that's only a belief. It has no power. The belief by the souls, the children of God, and God is the absolute power. It's positive. It uplifts. This is the power of God. Satanism is negative. It implodes. It is density. It sinks down. So it's the choice of every individual. What do you continue to choose? The beast system, the capitalistic system, which is imploding and compressing at a rapid rate? Or do you join the positive God system and join in creating the beautiful, pristine earth that we all come here to do? So the people are the ultimate jurisdiction. And please forgive me, Sister Beatrice. I know I rambled on quite a bit with this, but these things needed to be said.
Yes, yes, thank you so much. And it is so important for everyone to hear everything that you are saying. We have with us Richard S.G. Please, may you open your camera and introduce yourself, your mic, please. Oh, so when basically I asked to open the camera, the internet probably was not working well, then he's gone. Emily. Hi, Emily. How the things are going in the United States?
Well, I looked at the numbers this morning on the consent form. Hi, everybody. I'm Emily. I'm a fragment of the Divine Mother here in the United States. I looked at the numbers this morning, and it doesn't look like the United States has really grown in their numbers very much over the last year. I would have to say that the United States, America in and of itself is a lie. The whole concept of being an American is a lie. It's as if people have disconnected from their true heritage, their roots, their ancestors. All of us, mostly all of us over here, this continent of the United States, we're all from immigrants. And, we're like a melting pot of all cultures in one place. And it's very, very dark in the United States right now. They're murdering people in the streets for being immigrants. They're, controlling the monetary system. They're still targeting people. They're still censoring people. They're definitely censoring media. They're still pumping out stories and narratives that they want people to believe are happening all over the other parts of the world to create chaos and confusion and distortion and negativity and fear, of course. Fear. We want everybody afraid. They can just scare the shit out of you. You know what I mean? That is their objective. I've been really just self-reflecting on myself and my own alignment with this movement, and how much work I've already put in, how much time and energy I've already dedicated and given to this. Like, here's some more little cards that I've been having to write up because it's the only way I can even share it with anybody. Money is being heavily controlled over here. They're not giving it to people at all. They won't even give you like resources to eat. They won't give you resources to have shelter. They don't want to take care of us over here. They want me pathologized. They want me checked into a psych ward. They want me pumped full of drugs, and they want me to become a cash cow for the medical industry. And it's absolutely insane over here. Women are being targeted to bury the truth. We're being absolutely targeted, murdered all over the country to bury the truth because they are absolutely terrified that the truth is coming out. It scares the living daylights out of them. So they come after us. And what else is happening in the United States? I think people are finally in a place where they're more willing to be open to solutions than they ever have been because things are really bad. The price of milk is, I don't know, because I don't really buy milk, but I've heard that it's like $7 for a gallon. And, a gallon of gas is almost $4.50 a gallon. Like, the expenses that it costs to live in this part of the world, it's beyond the human capacity to even take care of themselves. That's why homelessness is a crisis. And all of these crises have been absolutely orchestrated to bring people down and basically feed off of our suffering. That's what that is. It's intentional. It's malicious to feed off of our emotions, because then, if I have an emotional reaction or if I have something to say, well, then suddenly they can label me the unstable one. And it's just not working. It isn't working for anybody that keeps trying to play this freaking game with me. And so I'm just staying in my own lane. And like I said, reflecting on myself and staying focused on the human being that I am supposed to be, without all these other influences of other people trying to tell me what I am supposed to be and stay true to myself. That's the only thing I can do anymore. You know, people want me to come out of character. They want me to be angry. They want to trigger these things in me. And as long as I maintain control, then they don't win. I said that. I said that. As long as I maintain control over myself, my sovereignty, my mind, my beliefs, my free will, my choice, then it's helping other people awaken within themselves that they had a choice all along. So that's my report from the United States. I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing and focus on what is right for me because, you know, I thought about this yesterday. If I sacrifice my integrity for someone else, then that means that they didn't have any to begin with. And I'm unwilling to do that. And as Rick said and affirmed in very many ways, it's time to take matters into our own hands because these militaries, these governments, these police, they're not protecting us through brutal. They're using excessive force and intimidation to try to get people to react in ways that then they can imprison them and take them to jail or whatever their goal is. It's not a good one. So it's not a good one. And that is like my key indicator. That's my indicator right there. It is the intention behind the systems and structures over here are malicious, and it's happening in whatever level of degree, you know, people will finally be sick and tired of being manipulated and resourced for their energy, basically harvested, then that's when things change, because that's when things changed for me. I'm done being harvested for my energy. I've kicked everyone out of my essence. And if it's not in alignment with my core values, my core principle, you don't have a place in my universe. This is my sovereign soil. This is my sovereign heart. And I possess the power to control me. Nobody else does. So we'll see how it plays out over here in Hunger Games America version.
Emily, if I may ask, you're part of, I believe, in your bloodline, Cherokee ancestry, or some indigenous Chickasaw, or perhaps. Do you wish to share any of that? Because you have indigenous roots, I believe.
I do. And it's my grandmother. She was full-blooded Native American, Cherokee. She didn't make it on the dolls list because, you know, there was compliance that came with that for those families. And this is all in my DNA, man. This is this is all in me. Um, Her particular part of the bloodline didn't make it on the list that was what's the word I'm looking for? Recognized as tribe. Because there was a place in time where the Cherokee Indians, the Cherokee Nation, they had to negotiate with the Europeans to bring peace. And so what happened was those chiefs, they sold out. They sold out, and you can see it all over the United States with the casinos, the hotels, and all of these things where they negotiated that part of the United States of Turtle Island is what it actually is. And I also would like to say, because this is what I was saying earlier on a TikTok I did, was every all the people over here that are fighting to have their American status. It is so unbelievable to me. My ancestors were here before any Europeans, before any French, before anything. My Native American ancestors were on these soils and they were slaughtered in the name of the Roman Empire, European British rule. And everyone that's over here in the United States, excuse me for saying it. I don't know how else to say it because I'm very angry and passionate about this. I was just paused. Hold on. If you're over here claiming an American status, that's what I said in the beginning. You've completely lost touch with reality. Your ancestors are from another part of the world. They all migrated over here. Every single person, just about in America, the majority are immigrants. So why in the world are we picking on certain pieces of Americans when everyone is an immigrant? There is no such thing as American. It is a lie. The whole thing is orchestrated and made up. And there were this part of the world, the ocean right here where I'm at. We used to have so much beauty and glory, and this part of the world was beautiful and pristine before those tribes were slaughtered. And I'm still not even recognized by the tribes because they see me as a star being, and a sky people is what they call me. And they just want to know what I want. And they will not seem to register that I am the creation of the Hopi prophecy. I am an answered prayer to all of my ancestors. And I am, in fact, a star child. And I can't get them, I can't even get the chiefs or the leaders in the Native American tribes. They won't even hear me. They don't even want to hear what I have to say. And I'm just like conflicted, confused, upset because I know in my own memory that Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, she will not tolerate this. She will not tolerate another repeat of mass genocide. She is waking up. God has already shown me the visions that is going to happen in the cities, the earthquakes, the floods. It is only beginning. And apparently that's what everybody wanted. And I don't have control over that. And I really wish people would wake up. And I want to point something out because I made a whole journal, Rick. Now you got me rambling. Rick, you pointed out Black Plague happened in the 1300s, right? Well, I did a little bit of research, and that was the year, and the era that women became targets of the psychiatric abuse and torture. That's when women started being institutionalized, locked in dungeons, tortured. Black Plague. Does the world really want a repeat of that? Because as soon as they begin to free the feminine and give us the support that we deserve, we are helping build everything. And oppressing us is just absolutely foolish. Trying to control us is nonsense. And dictating and governing to us is only going to get everybody burned. And we have to get on the same page where we support the women, support the feminine, make sure that we have the resources that we need in order to be safe, secure, and all of the things, I have like this whole list. Hold on. I had a question, Rick, for you. I read on one of the new websites that was introduced to me yesterday. It's some support website. All I grasped was the pieces that, were highlighted to my consciousness. And one of them was, I am requesting clarification on consent authorization of use of my consent. This support page that I read yesterday said that I can only get support if I follow the Divine-gpms.world consent form. And does that just remove me and my consent that I have given, which I searched this morning? Your server is holding my authority, my divine will and power. So am I even allowed to be a part of this community page that has been built for supporting those of us doing the work? Or do I need to reestablish my consent with your new server? I need clarification on that. And I need it right here in this public space. You can go ahead and answer that now.
Yeah, so Emily, as I know, there it's saying that it is for everyone that consented like a representative. So one time that the people consent with GPMS, after that they become automatically a representative. Right now, if they want to be active or not, or passive for a while, this is their choice. But basically, everyone that consented with GPMS can register on this new website. This new website, it is a platform because where the people can communicate each other, because we have also other platforms as Facebook, as Telegram, and basically this platform are on the hands of others, as I would say. And then this
Okay,
website.
Beatrice, please slow down, please. This question was to Rick Jewers. I asked Rick, and here
Okay.
you are answering for him.
Yeah,
It's like,
sorry.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
Rick has his own voice. Can he answer, please?
Okay.
What is your question again, Emily?
Okay, on the new support page, Rick, it says in the language, it says that only representatives that have consented through the divine-gpms.world are allowed to ask for support on this support page. And my
Yes,
question
yes.
was, do I need to reconsent to your new server?
Let me say, you have consented with GPMS, and I'll let Sister Nya answer this to explain it more. For I don't really see what you're asking. This is a contribution space, what we're bringing up for all GPMS members. And again, with any consent, it's only going to be GPMS members that can access this. This is a
That's
membership
all.
website.
Well, that's all I wanted clarification because the language sort of suggests that it has to be done on the divine-gpms.world. That's what the language says. Me
It
asking
says
clarity,
just yeah, clarify what you're saying there again, because
I
I'm not
did.
really.
Well, I can explain it for you, but I can't understand it for
Yeah,
you.
can let's perhaps
Well, I want to
Nya
just
can
go. I
answer
want
this
to.
better for you.
Well, I think I know the answer myself, honestly, and my question was likely rhetorical. So one more thing. You
However,
everyone.
let's just go back for a moment. So, have you contacted Nya or I or Beatrice privately? What is your intention at bringing this into this meeting? Were
No,
you
no,
unable to contact anyone else to get clarity?
no, Rick, I
So
just sent her the contribution page and I did not give too much explanation. So basically she's asking if it
Well,
is
the
needed to
contribution
consent
page
again
is
with GPMS or not to go there on
am
this
I being
page.
yeah,
controlled right now? Am I being told what I
the
can
con
and can't talk about in this meeting? Because if that's the case, I'm gonna leave. That's what's
the
gonna happen.
contra the contribution space is not fully public yet. So nevertheless, yeah, if she wishes to speak.
So I think what Emily might want to say, I think she had retracted her consent in the past. So as the contribution space is built up right now, it is for all representatives of Divine GPMS, meaning like if you have consented to divine-gpms.world with your email address, you are also able to register to that space. If you are not available in the database, you cannot consent. You cannot register to the board because it's right now only opened up for all the representatives. It is also a space for all representatives, guardians, and aligned groups to come together, post updates, news, or collaboration or cooperation as well, or also for ones to communicate with each other. It should also be in the future a replacement for the existing Telegram groups as well. But also for such amazing souls like Sister Lodi, who is doing so much work, or Sister Beatrice, a place where ones could also ask for financial assistance. But in this case, ones needs to go through a vetting process as well. So the thing is, maybe it was posted too quite early, because I wanted to have a run, so that all guardians and aligned groups can come in, and create some posts and movements before we are finally open it up, for all the representatives. Yes, Rick?
No, I'm ready when you're finished. I wanted to, what I was going to state, with the past history of GTMS, when we kept everything open and let's say in goodwill, in good faith, we asked all representatives and guardians of GPMS and anyone that joined that gave their consent to not exploit GPMS, to not use it as something for personal gain, if you will, but also to not scam with it. And just to keep things simple, that occurred in the past. And with ones need to realize with this membership space, we have over 400,000 members, and there has to be a divine order with this. So, what we have to provision this is the goodness or equality and goodness. And we need to have some order. And this is common sense. If we did not have any order and allow the public to join, you're going to get all of these trolls and what have you, and from the darkness, and they're just going to make a mess. So each member of GPMS has to be responsible and in their morality and also to be accountable for their actions, to treat others in goodness. So we have this well written out, and if anyone has issues with this, including Emily, what I suggest is do your research, and if you have honest questions, then reach out to Nya or I or other representatives, guardians privately before jumping to conclusions and bringing things on here. Nya just said that something I didn't know before. If Emily has withdrawn her consent from GPMS, then she is not a representative or guardian of it. And this stands for all that if they withdraw their consent, it means they're not in agreement and in alignment with what GPMS is doing for humanity. This is a worldwide agreement. So if someone does not consent to add their agreement, how can they respectfully, honestly have a say in what is occurring with a new world? In reality, they don't. In law, they don't. And in morality, they don't. How can you impose your uh, your opinion on someone that has already made an agreement with divine GPMS? No, you cannot. So these are where conflicts by the individual in issues arise. And we're not to accommodate every individual with their issues. Do you accept GPMS or not? If you don't and you don't consent, well, you should not even be here. So it's that simple. And when we've seen this before, and believe me, and I'm saying this publicly once again, divine GPMS as a whole, but not only GPMS, I personally have come under constant attack by the darkness and by ones that can be manipulated by the darkness. Because the truth is, divine GPMS is the death knell blow to the darkness itself. So when they're able to use others to attack my integrity, they do so. And what I will say today, and I've said this in another meeting, with the technology today, with AI, they could actually take my voice, take AI generation of me and put it out there, and someone would think it's me speaking, but they would put their own words to it. The same as synchronized voice recordings. And this is what I say with ones. Yes, I am who I say I am, the Son of God. And I am here bringing GPMS, God's plan for all of the good souls on earth. And the reason we got to do this is because there are actual evil forces here that have preyed on humanity and put them into the sickened, enslaved state. Nothing stops what I'm doing, nothing stops GPMS, nothing stops all bona fide guardians, genuine guardians and representatives of GPMS. And I know all of the tactics of darkness. I've been divinely trained here on earth to identify when one is attempting to manipulate, when one has issues, when they're controlled by the darkness, and even when they're the actual darkness themselves. And once again, I make this clear. If anyone is receiving messages, even voice messages, saying Rick said this a long time ago, what I say is come to me directly. Make sure you are speaking with I on a live video call so that you know it's me, so that I can show you that my integrity is fully intact and I am who I say I am. Because in the past, there's been dark campaigns, because this is how the darkness works, at sending messages to one saying, Rick said this, Rick wrote this. And what I say, it's all lies and manipulation, distortion, and deception. And ones need to wake up that there is an actual darkness here on earth, and that GPMS is the actual only thing that ever ends it and sets humanity free. So you have the darkness fighting for their existence. And what they will do is, in the past, I don't want to create things, they will, and they have attacked I personally, creating stories, manipulating what I say, even creating fabrications of this. We have done with Nya's case with the children. We have put this out publicly to show everyone the extent of what the darkness goes through to persecute anyone that believes in God, how they use it in their courts of law to attempt to make one look like they're crazy, so that they can push and enforce their laws upon ones to use them. So ones need to know the actual truth of what is going on, and be wise, and don't listen to gossip. Make sure you have both sides of the story so that you get the truth. Don't let anyone lead you astray from God, what is good and what is right. Thank you.
Yeah, so the things how the system may work and to suppress the people belief. Personally, I know this extremely well because I was raised in communism in Romania. So for us there, this is nothing new. I was asked when I was a child, we were put to write answers, and a question it was, do you believe on God? And I said yes, and this was the question inside of the school. And I was coming back at home, and normally, as I told all the time with my parents what is happening, I told to my father that it was an answer if I believe on God or not. And my father said, "You need to lie. You need to start to learn to lie because this is very dangerous. You do not have to say, I believe on God." And I said, it is already said. So, um, yeah, so this is a very normal things that is happening in the communities. Do not believe on God and everything, and also going to the church and speak with the priest there, and there are microphones inside of the church and everything, and after that there it's a reporting, and so this is just a normal situation that I was raised on this situation, and we know very well what is happening. This may be new for other people on the other area of the world, like the people that started to hear stories about the communism when they are born in the United States or Canada. But for the people in Romania, this is a very new, this is a very known situation. And this will be challenge and challenge, and will go more and more, and this will never stop. So the courts will do not um, give the permission or allow to the people to how can I say, act in the way as you know the divine law inside of you or the culture or something like. So they will put all the time, they will insert rules inside of the law. Then inserting rules inside of the law, they will recognize in the court only the rules of that law and nothing else. So yeah, so for me, it's I understand very well what also Emily Lynn is saying. It is something very in general when she's speaking, and I understand also very well this situation with not be led to trust in the real God and put challenges as you are crazy or something like is happening, you have a deviation or something, it's happening. Yes, Nia.
Oh, I just wanted to say this should not be normal. So as I have met, a lot of Romanian people as well, a lot of them believe in Godfather Prime Creator, and they're very strongly aligned with them. I even heard, a Romanian woman saying, they don't fear the police. The only one they are fearing is Godfather Prime Creator, right? And I have also to say, in a normal human rights framework, you are allowed to believe in whatever you are, but also, it's so important with Divine-gpms. When you are consenting, you are agreeing to do no harm, but also accepting everyone's self-determination and everyone's belief system. And this is what Divine-gpms is. We are open to all belief systems and to all conscious states, right? And, I have seen also things in the past and experienced things in the past, and I very well known what Rick is saying, and it's all true. Even I was sometimes people trying to come in, to manipulate or, to take over specific kind of things, even with Divine-gpms. And it is necessary to create that space, for one who agreed, to do no harm, right? So I just wanted to add this, and just one another thing, what I also have experienced weeks ago, which is very important because I'm seeing it repeating again and again and again. I mean, if anyone have an issue with anyone, the easiest thing is just to go to that person, ask them directly, and talk with them. There's no reasoning to do gossiping or any kind of things like that, right? And just speak your truth. And I'm very grateful that you did, Beatrice, right? This is the most, the divine ones, they are not lying. There's something inside, there's a mechanism. You cannot lie. You have to stay in your truth. You have to be authentic, and you have to walk your path, in the most aligned way, which you are doing naturally in the way when you're progressing forward and doing your inner work. So just wanted to add those little things to it. Thank you.
Yeah, so just before Rick, please allow me 2 minutes. Yeah, so in Romania, we know what the system is doing as communism, what the system did until the communism was down and put down, but basically it continued with the capitalism after that, a very strong capitalism, as we can see also in the United States. Today, even that the name was Romania Enter on the Democracy, no, it was not about any kind of democracy. And I was around, I believe, 18 or 19 years old when the communism was put down by a supposed revolution. And this for us was a very normal situation. So to believe on God extremely strong, but at the same time do not be able to speak about God or in our regular life, like inside of a court or inside. So you need to follow the rule of the law there. So, and because also in the communism, we had all the institutions that they were only a state institution. There was not private companies or something like. Then inside of this state institution, you need all the time to follow only the communism law. And it was only one political party, and that political party forced the people, the leaders of that institution, to be inside of that political party, that it was a communist political party. So this kind of the situation, we all the time we identify that everything it is about God, but as the communists play with the rules and the law there, we had no choice, and we were pushed to recognize the law inside of the system. So we had all the time this situation. Right now in Canada or in the United States, since especially 2020, when the people finally started to recognize that it is more like a communism here, this is, for us, we recognize a sign of the communism and very quickly, and but we are keeping God on, we trust on God, but not like the United States people are saying we trust on God, and basically that God could be something else. No, we trust on the real God in Romania. So we know that it is not a man on the sky, but at the same time, we pray to Jesus. It is still on our culture there. But after 2020, the belief started to change and started to discover the real God. So when I was coming in Canada, I believed that the communism is far away and will be never return on my life. But after my presence in Canada for a while, I found that the sign of the communism is like are following me. Basically, the problem, it is all around the earth. It is not about one area or another area. And I'm still surprised when people from Romania, they want me to speak about self-determination that we can do there on that place of Romania, not worldwide. Because my understanding it is that if we do not act worldwide, nothing can happen only in one area. But anyway, to start from one area, it's and to play after that towards the world, it's different. But I can find how can I say my speech in order to clarify some things. Then probably the discussion may go towards a later understanding of everything that it is connected, and basically we cannot develop only in one area a strategy, and after that to remain and to have this self-determination recognized only per area. So it will be a nice discussion. I had really a question when I participate in Romania meetings, and the Romania are different. Some people, they lost their confidence on God a little bit because God never returned to them to show them that something may happen inside of the system or around, and there is trauma. For some people, it was a very, very hardship. So, but at the same time, and they do not even want to hear about God anymore. Speaking about God, they want to speak about action. So it is, in general, Romanian people are true believer on God, on the real one. But at the same time, after so many things happen in the last years, and it was not a real intervention seen inside of the system. The people, some people, only some of them, they may believe that we need to get a real action and a real plan, or they are not able to recognize a plan like divine plan or something like that. So anyway, this should be not a problem because through the conversation we can ameliorate the understanding. It is all about time and to remain on discussion, because if we are losing the correspondence or the message will be lost. So yeah, so we put our effort all around the world and in all shapes are coming. But at the same time, personally, I truly remain confident on God, and I believe that we'll find a way to move forward and to bring the international agreement to fruition. Sorry, I spoke too much in the last time. Yes, Nia. Yes, Eric.
No, thank you so much for sharing those things as well. I just, it's just like that I've been reminded about some things, but also, I'm very grateful, that I had some very miraculous experience, with Father and other things as well that keeps me moving forward as well in these times. And Father is real, yes, he is. But also, I just wanted to remember about also Jesus' story, right? Because he was also brought in front of the court for his belief, but also he was standing in front of the court and saying, about this nefarious system as well, that it is wrong, right? And I even came that far that I saw a video, which I didn't know, from the prophet Elijah. And he was instructed by Father to confront those. And as you can see, the story of Elijah is before Jesus. And you can already see that back then their system was also connected with Beelzebub, Jezebel, and Baal as well. So it goes way, 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 way back, right? And I admired Prophet Elijah, fully trusting in Father, sitting there, waiting until he get to go back, still trusting and doing everything with this. But also what I do also want to say, it is, as Rick already mentioned it is the majority of the people that are still feeding the system. It is not about to sit and to wait, for a savior to come. It's about, to step up, to speak your truth and to do the right thing, and don't allow unlawful thing or such things to happen. And this is the thing, as you can see, as Jesus went through it, a lot of ones with the Christ consciousness are going through the same tests and tribulation right now. And there is a separation phase right now happening. And the more ones would go against their mission and their alignment, the more will be created into their path as well. So there is indeed a pressure mode happening right now. So until it will reach a specific point. So I just wanted to add those things. I mean, I'm not so much in Christianity, but I had to share that because miraculous things are happening. There is a lot of divine intervention which we cannot see. It works beyond what we can see. There's many, many levels to it. There are many, many beings working, and many things are happening. Like what you can also see right now, many people are experiencing miraculous situation and appearances, meaning like they've been visited by Jesus, Father speaks to them, right? And what they are doing is, for example, I just saw someone, at the Freemasonry, saved by an angel, and now he's speaking up about this. I saw someone from the Islam going back to Jesus because Jesus was visiting him 3 nights in a row, and now he's believing in Jesus, right? So there are many, many good things happening, as you can see as well with it. So I just wanted to add that as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so how the investigation are also working in Romania, for example, if you are a public speaker, you are bringing to conversation where specific question rise up, and you answer there, and you are kept during a conversation. Then after that, the investigators can pick up what you already said, and after that, they may invite you, they may tell you that you are under investigation and you cannot move out of the country, you have no right and everything. So basically, my understanding what it is happening with the people consciousness that rise up. It is when the people start to speak their mind, so basically to start to speak their truth in mass. I believe that there will be no so many investigators as number that can cover so many people speaking out. So basically, yeah, so unfortunately we may be, how can I say, put under some pressure sometimes by some people that are not enough awake at this time. But personally, I truly believe that this rising general consciousness will make also the investigators. So who are the investigators? The investigators are the people. So basically, they will have their time when their consciousness, when they will become aware that things happen. And especially in Romania, because it is a very strong belief on God. This is nothing new there. And especially, we do not have so-called communism right now. We have this capitalism under the name of democracy there. So God, it is very allow us believe in Romania this time. So this is not a problem. And personally, I said all the time, the police, the investigators, the courts and everything, inside this institution, we have people, and these people can anytime arrive to another conclusion, even during the so-called investigation or the so-called court. So what I would say, our words are the swords, and this is fighting evil, not the people. And speaking truth that could be searched and recognized sooner than later, it is the way. So to face and to pass through. Because this kind of the situation, when you are public speaker, this will arrive because this kind of the situation may happen for any reason inside of the individual, and the individual can try to attach the public speaker to something that was told, but at the same time speaking all the time the truth. It is the way to continue, and from there the freedom movement is just knows already that the public speakers one day or in another day they may face some question. So yeah, this is nothing new. So trust in God and pass through. Yes, Rick.
Yes, thank you, Sister Beatrice. One thing for not only Romania, but for the entire world, Divine-gpms.world is God in action. So no one in this world can say that God is not doing anything. What God is doing right now, He's giving every soul a choice of what side are you going to be on. Are you going to be on the side of God or this beast system? This is God in action that is lawfully gathering the consents from every physical soul. And this is very important. So it is not truthful, it is incorrect for anyone to say that God is not in action, especially now. And, with this, I said earlier, I am the Son of God, and I am. I am not Jesus. I am Melchizedek. And it's important for ones to know that God has more than one direct son. He also has more than one direct daughter. Now, with this, once I was divinely trained in this realm, in this world, and briefed on everything that the darkness was doing with their entire capitalistic system, their stock markets, their enslavement of humanity. Once I had all of this investigative, divine investigation of what was occurring on Earth, I knew the plan long before I had that, but I had to have the homework done. Once I had the homework done, then we wrote this plan of GPMS.world up for humanity, because this is what needs to be chosen. Now, with this, and this is very important, I've said this before. Yes, I am the Son of God, but remember what I just said a few moments ago. There's many daughters of God, and they are also incarnated here at this time. And once I was divinely prepared in this material physical realm of earth, my instructions was to fully support the feminine on earth, to support the mothers and the feminine, the women, because they are the key for this ascension. And they need to step up to do this. And I've said it before. And it is the mothers, the feminine, that are the movers of this reality connected with God. And this is the thing. This is not a patriarch thing. Yes, I am one of the guarantees of it, but Sister Beatrice, Sister Lodi, Sister Agnes, Nya, all of you are also, including Emily. Everyone has some issues to some degree, but the choice ultimately will be made, and these issues will be put aside. Everyone will not perhaps agree with everything, and we're not asking that. We're asking ones to come together with the one common goal so we can release the abundance for every soul worldwide and their freedom. Can everyone do that? Put your differences, put your gossiping, put your degrading comments, all of these lesser things aside, and focus on the good, what is good for all, because that is the great compassion. That is the selflessness and the inner moral knowing of doing what is right. The reason every individual is suffering is because of their own choices to a degree, and they have to change. They have to make the different choices, and they do this with their self-determination that has already been anchored on earth. So this is why we explain to them what self-determination actually is. And so getting back to this, it's the divine, it's the feminine that is to lead GPMS.world forward. Sister Lodi is a prime example of all of the great work she is doing in the Philippines at gathering, not only gathering the consents, but teaching ones that they have a choice and that this is it. She doesn't need to teach the ones in the Philippines about God because most of them are already devoted to God. And they have seen through history and experience what the darkness has done and attempts to do to keep them in slavery and poverty. Sister Lodi is doing a great job. Sister Beatrice is doing a great job with her devotion to God and identifying that this is the divine plan. All of you are. Sister Agnes, Commander Nya, even perhaps Brother Hannington that has joined us today. Everyone is. And you're all doing it in your own way. So everyone may not agree on something someone might say sometimes, but what does it matter? You have the choice of not making it matter to cause conflict and keep the focus on the goal of freeing all humanity. So, and one more little thing. Um, on TikTok, I did the GTMS news, the sister Kirsten was doing it so beautifully on TikTok, I believe maybe 6 or 7 months ago. And she didn't take it back up. And I had asked her, I sent a message, no reply. So I took it upon myself to start episode 1 of GPMS News yesterday. But let me say, with my evaluation of myself, no, no, no. I feel it has to be a feminine, a divine feminine doing that. But when I did this, and Facebook approved it, it was allowed to go on. But TikTok said no. They said it's misinformation. And so they said they would not, it violated their community, um, uh, oh, what's the word? Their, their community policy or what have you. But so what I appealed, and I said, no, this is not misinformation. I said, here is our website, Divine-gpms.world. Here's even our public law website. And I said, this is real. I said, this is not misinformation. And I also said, I'm real. So what they come back with, oh, all right, we made a mistake or what have you. But I saw Brother Donovan, they began to attempt to censor him as well. But we circumvent and we get through this. So for I, that is cleared with I, at least with TikTok. No, GPMS is very real, and TikTok has to recognize that it is. Um, and just so with this, even though you have by the darkness the censoring, as I said, Everyone is speaking. The darkness cannot censor the speak of meeting in a coffee shop and having a conversation, if you will, also speaking on the phone. So, what has occurred is the majority of humanity worldwide are already informed. It doesn't matter if the darkness attempts to censor, because that cannot stop the people from speaking, and it has not. And also, there's the divine plan. When needed, there is divine intervention. So I'll stop there, and later on, I do have a couple points that I wish to say, but I'll just say again, no, God is in action, and anyone that is rational or reasonable, if they go and they look at GPMS, what it does for them and every individual worldwide, they can see that this truly is the gift from God, and it's given as a simple choice. Do you want it or not? This is your abundance, your true sovereignty, your freedom, your alignment with peace, harmony, love, abundance, joy, everything good. Thank you.
Yeah, I would just want to add something about Bucegi Mountain, where you are also in the Carpathian mountain, Bucegi Mountain. There it was also a couple of investigation on the people that they made some ceremonies or work with energy, and basically this kind of the investigation, it is to surprise if it was on the good energy or it was bad energy or something like, because we have also in Romania some people that they are working with evil, and basically they were coming in the Bucești mountain and they use a sort of bad energy. Right now, when an investigation is done on if somebody is using the good energy and after that what is doing there, it is basically an investigation on metaphysics. So if it is an investigation on metaphysics, it's not in the individual itself, because also other people are specialized on metaphysics. So this is happening anyway. In the Bucești mountain, it's not only about one individual, or there are many. When an investigation on metaphysics is done, basically the investigator recognizes that the energy influence the environment and influence the people. So then we have an investigator that knows that we are energy. If the investigators know that we are energy, there are also devices at this time in Romania that can measure what is happening a little bit after a ceremony or something like is done. When they can do that, and also there are also at this time devices in Romania that they can measure the good energy that it is spread around the body of the individual. When this measurement hits a real one, the individual work, it's confirmed in the good way. So it is basically, how can I say, an investigation. It is basically, I do not know how can I say, it is an investigation on metaphysics that basically it is already known. So it is not even about investigation. It is basically just about a discussion and nothing more.
Yeah, it's confirming it. Yes, that
Exactly.
it is
So
very real.
yes,
Mhm.
exactly. So I would say if an outcome from this kind of the investigation may come as negative, there it is an ill intent. And the ill intent in Romania, even under this capitalist law, it is recognized as crime. And the positive outcome will be probably a step forward to recognize the metaphysics. So it does not matter from where it starts, if it is arriving in time to a point where the metaphysic is put under the investigation, if it is a true metaphysic or not. At this time, there are devices that can show a little bit part of the truth, and I should be not so concerned that will move towards a negative outcome. This is my opinion. Yes, Nia.
Oh, the conversation got a little bit carried away from the topic where I wanted to add something at, but I still want to add it as well, because at the topic, with one's being afraid to step up, right? And how important it is, especially also for the divine feminine, to step up. Even though my children were taken, right, and things got fabricated and lies and all those kind of accusation, I still had to choose the higher path and the higher choice, meaning like not to let those unlawful things happen, because especially right now, all of the people are in this situation because everyone complied to it. Everyone let it happen. No one stood against it. And that's the reason why it is exactly at that point where we are. So it is very important and necessary to step up. Yes, there are many speaking the truth, being attacked and threatened. So am I as well. But the thing is also, to trust, to fully trust when you are doing something, the right and the good thing. And very funnily enough, I have to get, again, to bring the Bible inside. I found a reel where someone started to count what sentence is the most often popping up in the Bible. And it is, don't be afraid. It pops up 365 times. And this is very, very important. And the next thing, it is not necessarily needed for once to have a higher state to ascend to the new earth. The most important thing is the alignment and the good souls that are already morally aligned and with the heart aligned, and they are very kind and good souls, right? They are also ascending as well, because you have just to think about it. And yes, it is real. We are in the slaving system, it's a purgatory, right? And the thing is, we will not bring anything of the lower into the 5D earth. It will not be contaminated this time. And because of this, one needs to go through a purification process where they need to make the right decision. And this is the separation. And yes, Father has brought in Divine-gpms. It is a gift, because ones even don't know how complex and how I even cannot put that in words, but it's just like an all solution and it's a plan, and it is made so simple for everyone just to choose it. There's a much more deeper complexity with it, connected with Divine-gpms, but to explain that would take much, much more time. So it is very simply made for once, just to make the higher choice. And I just wanted to emphasize this one more time and how important it is, but also with what Rick said. It is about, the Christus Sophia and the anchoring of the Christus consciousness here. And this is very, very important. So I just wanted to add this as well. And I'm still here. I'm safe and divinely protected. And yes, and fully trust in Father. And I had to say, years ago, I didn't believe in Father God. I believed in Source because I didn't know it better. And then Father came in and spoke to I, and this changes everything. Father is real. So I just want to add this again, how important it is, especially in these times, because everyone will see this. This is not normal if you have once hail coming down and at the same time there's fire in the same area. And it's amplifying everywhere. We are in the final times. Yes, there is a separation, and ones need to make their choice and needs to go into alignment. So this is very, very important. I just wanted to add this again. Thank you.
I would say that just a little bit to end with the Romania people, there are a lot of, how can you say, supposed discoveries, invention in Romania, and some of them that are already recognized or partially recognized. So, if the government apply on someone a device that it's showing negative result, and the individual knows that is not real, uh, in Romania there are full of inventors that they pass their device to be recognized, and another device, private device, could be used, and this should be shown and allowed even by the court. Yeah, so I would say because this believing when it's not coming from the inside, this can create confusion. Or for example, when you are under a trauma or on ill intent, or then there could come a speculation and can come with a negative result in the court, but um, uh, just to let you know, the people know that Romania has a lot of devices in general, many of the Romanian people. And I truly believe that it is also the time to start to show them up over the internet, and to find a way, then the fear will start to disappear. And I ask also, if you remember, Rick, about Ascension, if we can have a test, a blood test, urine test, or something like that, the people will start to believe. And it was told that the actual system is not able to provide that because basically will cover that. So we are not still able to have even a private laboratory that can give this kind of the test to the people in order to allow them to understand, to see that ascension is real, even that they do not still believe yet. But at the same time, I was found also over the internet some situation when the doctors describe that they perform some tests on the newborn babies, and they found a sort of crystallization, and they were asking what it is happening. And this was seen a couple of years ago, and after that started to disappear. The message, the article started to disappear, and basically the doctors were not let to speak out. Yes, Rick.
Correct. So this is in Romania, Rimatea. It's in Alba County. So you can see the screen right where I have my hand. If there's any that wishes to register or let's say do energetic readings right in this area, because this is where we anchored in the Mother Ark Hub. And we did this with energetic ceremony, but also because of what and who we are. And yeah, participated in this when we did it. Now, just very quickly, after we did this, a huge apparition of Mother Mary appeared in the sky that only I saw it, and Femke was with I at that time. She saw it, but it was too huge to capture it on a phone. But also, when we put the phone up, it did not really capture it. It could not. So, two things in this area, the apparition of Mother Mary appeared after we had the activation done about a week or several days afterwards. And she also appeared on the full moon with right where her third eye was where the moon was, and her entire face in her veil, and the purple veil was all there included, and you could see her in her beauty. And also with that, during that same period, the Holy Spirit as a smoke came around the campground in the night one time when I was having a shower, but I was the only one that saw that, but I needed to see it. And it was also there a couple times because we anchored in the Holy Spirit. So this is a very holy place for the feminine, but not only the feminine, any masculine that's in touch with their feminine side. So it would be great if any of these ones that have these energetic devices and instruments to read, to go there. But when you go there, stay there at that area, and especially overnight, because you may begin to have, if you are in good faith and if you believe and you trust, you may have a heightened experience. So for the Romanian viewers that bring this up, it's Rimatea Coltesti. It's in, I believe, the Rimatea Valley, but it's in Alba County, and it's a very, very important, real high energy, positive energy space. Now, to just go a little um, stop here, to go a little bit more into the metaphysics, what we are currently worldwide in a divine energetic protocol. Now, what this means, nothing that is nefarious can expand outward. It actually implodes. The energetic mechanisms is designed to implode, compress negativity, while at the same time, anything that's in alignment with goodness, morality, God, and positivity, it energizes and it expands outward, and it gives one's more of a good experience in reality, and they also avoid unnecessary negative things if they were in this negativity. So ones never truly know what they avoid by being in full alignment. All of creation is energy, is energetics. Yes, there worldwide there has been black magic and manipulation of magic, and it's also what the darkness used to put the illusion on humanity. Now, with anyone, let's say, coming into trying to manipulate good energy in a court scenario, these sort of things never would work. But if it's negative energy, yes, it could go in there, and the court could be learned in different individuals on how energy actually works. Because you can record negative or positive energy. This is what we do with grid work, and so many all around the world that have been clearing the negative residue, the imprint into the lands itself from past wars, satanic ceremonies. Worldwide, there are many that in the past were going there clearing that because of their divine presence, and especially the divine goddesses that know who they are, dressed in white, and are the conduits for God. They come, they anchor in their light because their light is more powerful than darkness. And we use as an example the candle analogy, that it will light up the darkness, but the darkness cannot put it out. This shows you that the light is the most powerful, and it can never be distorted or used for the bad. So there is the divine protocol during this ascension that is in place worldwide. So yes, energetics is very real. The metaphysics is very real. And as a rule, science is usually the lost ones to realize that it's real. But for those that already know, because we practice it and we utilize the good energetics in the divine creational work we do, we know that it exists. It is confirmed for us. But the things with science, they are always a step behind, and they didn't really know about this. But I have said this in more recent lives, they are catching up because they can't deny its existence. And this is with science, with God. They can't prove that God doesn't exist because when they go into the dynamics of energy and order, if you will, they always find an order. It's in every plant that grows, it's in the symmetry of every human and animal and bird on earth and fish. This is part of divine order and harmony. So then the simple question is, how can there be this type of an order? And how, again, miraculously, can a little squiggly guy fertilize an egg and create a whole human? This is miraculous. It is divine. It is creational energy that is involved. And perhaps science will try to explain it away with different theories, but you never take theories away from those of us that have the inner knowing and work with it and know that it's real. Thank you.
I would like to show something that it is also recognized by Google, even that the Google we know is not the best one, but in this case it is also recognized by Google. So, okay, so right now probably the people can share the screen. Romania is known as the Garden of the Mother God. A deeply rooted spiritual title popularized by modern pops and ancient local tradition. So since I was a child, I was told that Mother God is there in the mountain. And I was told that my father at the time was reading forbidden books. Forbidden books means that under the communism you cannot read, for example, books like what is happening with the people that come against the communism, or for example, what happened with the Kennedy, the president of the United States, that circulated a book. So this kind of the books, they circulated, it was some copies share, and basically we give to the other one, read one time, and after that give to another one, because the book was not able to be printed on so many copies, because it was a little bit like illegal in the time of the communists to read this kind of books. So I was raised in a house where my father read all these kind of books. And at 14 years old, I was told about many things. So, and I was very, very loved by the both parents. So basically, in our culture, we know that Romania, it is uh, the Christ motherland, and we know that this is our culture. It is everywhere, and we know that the apparition of the Mother Mary, when it is happening, it is because something it is in the good direction made, and we know that this is how can I say, it is a sacred place. It is something linked to the truth, and we know that in the supposed call as last time, that are the last time of the evil, Mother Mary apparition will come, and we are aware also of the fact that the good things, the remedy for the humanity will start from Romania, and we know, and I was told since I was a child, then the head of the beast it is in the United States. This was the reason that my father was crying and my mother was crying too, and I left Romania and I was coming in North America, especially when my father discovered that I need to go in the United States probably for a while. Because he said, don't move there, your son, don't go there, because there it is the head of the beast, and the remedy it is Romania. So I hope all the time that GPMS will start from Romania. I do not question when things happen, because I believe on God, and I believe that things happen because it is a divine timing. We cross people, so those people that they arrive on our way, they have they are probably part of the divine situation in order for something there to happen. So we will see what will be happening, and but I just let know to everyone that Romania, it is known as the Mother Mary garden, and it is known that in the divine times, in the last time of the evil, the Mother Mary apparition started to be in the Bucegi area, and the Mother Mary was seen by many others in Bucegi area. And also, we know that the remedy, the solution for humanity needs to start from Romania. My question is all the time, why we are on the waiting time? This remedy is not started yet. And this is the reason that if somebody invite me to a discussion, it doesn't matter if this individual or that individual wants to know about GPMS or not. It does not matter. I answer, because speaking about self-determination will go later towards the international agreement. So I do not reject any proposal, and even I let the communication to move forward, and from there the truth will rise up. I hope sooner than later, and probably each parts it is like a game that each individual it's part of the general game. Then we do not know when this piece come all together, and after that is done. Yes, Nia.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. I didn't know that about Romania. It's beautiful. Sometimes it's get carried away, so let me just think what I even wanted to add. Oh, yes, one of those things, with the ascension, because of the divine intervention, there are many divine intervention, and because of this, many technologies have been taken down, meaning like you can see there are more ones waking up and being more empathic than before as well. And we had actually on Earth very high advanced technology, as that was what is currently known. So I just wanted to add that. But one funny thing I wanted to add, I just came across, is that someone just posted it, and it's true. People believe in Wi-Fi, in mobile phones. It also works without you seeing it. So why are people not believing in frequency and energy, right? Everyone knows if you're going to a place, where a lot of bad things happen, that the frequency, or you don't feel comfortable there, right? While you are going to a place where there's a lot of happiness and joy, you can feel the joy actually. So energy and frequency is real, and the ascension itself is also very, very real, as you can see what is currently happening. And so many things are brought to the surface, which was not possible to brought to the surface before, as you may know. So I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
It is something that when somebody is coming with ill intent for an investigation, for example, at this time we are still in the time when the people are not so many as number full awake, and the people are still motivated looking towards what is happening, the problem, and not really attracted to create something new, then start from there to solve, to come to the remedy. When the people are coming, reading all the time what is happening, so something bad happened or a news. So when an investigator is using ill intent and try to basically put down a freedom fighters or a freedom advocate, what is happening in reality? The effect, it's because we have the so-called alternative media and everything, the effects start to, or many pop up even on the news if it is something very important. The effect is basically coming against that investigation, because even that it is told inverted, the results it's in the news is coming inverted, what an individual is doing or something like. Basically, when many people at this time, they are reading news still, they are attracted from the news, then when appear in the news. So basically they are reading that. When they are reading that, and for example, when someone is touching public, a leader of GPMS, what will happen? We'll put GPMS everywhere. So as also Adrian Robertindini is saying, so if you touch me, I was not able to pay such advertising that you can give to me. So even when it's coming from an ill intent of investigation or something like, and from there it is a negative outcome because it's coming on the news, and because the people are not very well awake, they are reading still that news. And basically it is a sort of advertising of something that it is behind of the individual. And how God is working, we let God work, then from there we will see a positive outcome just later. So just when we are saying on my culture, we are saying don't play with the fire. So start to know how to use that in the good direction, but don't play with the fire, because from there can be danger. So if you understand, it's good. If you do not understand, accidents may happen. Yes, Nia.
Oh, thank you so much. I don't have anything to add right now. Thank you. Rick had something to add.
Yeah, Sister Beatrice, you said again something important about, and for me to keep this simple, see, when anyone fights against the system, they have aggression or vengeance. And aggression and vengeance is fear-based. It is the absence of the positive trust in God. And because of this, because the energetics worldwide is set up that negativity at this time will attract many multitudes of negativity, while positivity won't. So you'll see ones that are in trust and positive. They might have a criminal record, if you will, in the system in America, But what occurs when they're called by God and they believe in God and brother Jesus? Their criminal record can just vanish right from the files because no longer are they in negativity, no longer are they negative, and they do not attract the negativity so that the darkness can control them. The darkness works to make one's angry because when one's become angry, it's in fear and it puts them in the dark's realm where they can control them. And this is the simple tactics that all needs to know what the darkness does. And this is one of the mottos of GPMS. Do not fight. Unite. Your numbers are greater. Unite in harmony and in positivity, in love, abundance, joy, and peace. Then this dark system, it cannot exist. It implodes by itself. So importantly, for this that if one's fight, you're going to attract negativity, they'll haul you in courts and all of these things. But if you trust in God and be positive, you don't attract as much negative circumstance if you attract it at all to any great extent. Um, I'll just go through a couple more quick things that I had on my list, so then we can hear from our other sisters. So again, just to recite public notice number 74. It has increased. This is a public notice, a public declaration worldwide that affects every human being if the baby was just born. And what this basically says that there is a baseline, a limit amount of the value of any individual, and that has been risen to 1 trillion equivalent US dollars. So this is significant, and this proclamation is also, as more and more consents with GPMS, it also establishes more of this worldwide. And this also is so important when you look at war, any war with any innocent human lives that have been taken, or any lives for that matter, there is this baseline benchmark of $1 trillion on the individual. That is the minimum that they are worth. So when you look at countries in war, let's say that have, let's take with Israel, with Palestine, where let's just take 100,000 that they have killed. Look at this. Every individual worth $1 trillion. Look at reparation costs where there is justice in the future. Look at what Israel would have to pay just as that part of the reparation costs. And what this does is each nation with the capitalist system is responsible through their taxes, their debt to pay this. And when you look at Israel with past numbers, when I did this before at 500 billion, what it did was that every Israel citizen, as part of paying for this part of reparation for what they illegally and unlawfully did with Palestine, it would have equated to about 44 million US dollars per Israeli citizen. That was at 500 billion. It has now doubled. So let's say it's perhaps 1990 million US dollars for each Israel citizen because they are a citizen they support what their government does because they're still an Israel citizen. So it means their share of the reparation costs alone, just because of the human life for Palestine, is almost $100 million with this capitalistic system. In the US, when I did it, it was approximately 1 million. So that has now increased to about $2 million that every American citizen, if this capitalistic system stays intact, would be responsible for with their part in the Iranian war as well. So this is very important that ones need to come to realize that human life is priceless, meaning you cannot put a top value on what it's worth, but you can definitely put a minimum value on it when you have ones in this reality that have a worth of $1 trillion, which has just occurred recently. This shows you that everyone, every human being has that opportunity for a base amount of 1 trillion. So this is substantiated and justified with reason and rationale and with the lawful components that places this into a lawful stature. Now it's proclaimed, whether ones believe it or not, what is occurring with Divine-gpms.world, once it has the majority consent, this is the law. So you might have warmongers and rogue nations now getting away with what they're doing, but the justice is coming. And it's not a justice that is inflicted right upon these perpetrators themselves. It occurs organically. So the people, again, don't need to worry about getting justice in this current beast system because you cannot get justice in this. So you create the system where it is just of do no harm. And what it does, it stops war forever as one of its things. It also eradicates poverty forever. But I won't make that more complicated. So yeah, we got the new seal. As you can see, this is the official GPMS seal for Divine Guardians to utilize. And yeah, it said, I believe Agnes and Beatrice and anyone that is a guardian wishes to use it. I believe you can use that. So we have the renunciation of citizenship. It's on the website that you brought up, our educational series. And what this does, it educates and teaches the one where they think they are a citizen that is owned by a nation by reading this simple educational series. It leads them right out of being a slave to the system to their true sovereignty and their freedom. And that's when they join together with their other brothers and sisters that's in their true sovereignty and everyone working together in harmony, which is gpms.world. And once again, what I will say is the Christ revival worldwide is so important, as I mentioned earlier. Uh, so it's important for ones to know that yes, divinity is happening. Divine GPMS is of God. The two major faiths, Islam and Christianity, are the majority worldwide. And yes, this is for all of those that believe in God. And I checked, in the school in Iran that was bombed by the Israel and the U.S. that killed, I believe, 165 um, feminine students, young girls that killed them, and also more. With that school, with the Islamic belief, they teach them the same as Christianity, the core values. Do not kill ones, do not do any harm, treat everyone with respect. So the basic teachings of Islam in Iran are the same as what Christianity is. Don't harm anyone, but they're also in full alignment with what GPMS is. Do no harm. So the point I'm making, where you saw the school that was attacked, it was also a form of persecution on any that believed in God as well. And it is very sick and sadistic. Not only that, Palestine, many worldwide. But without I going into that, I've also been uh, sending many emails out, contacting individuals and groups, important ones. And what I'm also finding is that many of the emails are not being sent. So my end is working fine, but what I'm finding is many of the truth speakers and rights advocates, their email servers are being censored and blocked. Now, what happens also, you have emails that are sent typically, but there is a queue that they are held in, and governments will put this, it's called intercepting the emails. So when governments are trying to control humanity, what these emails will do, they'll go into a queue before going to the recipient, and if the government doesn't want them sent, it will stop them. And this is very real. So when you look worldwide at all of the governments, they control the servers in the countries. And where they also control the servers, they control the emails, and they have the encryption codes for all of your email accounts. It is there. It's in an accessible database by those that controls the servers and the content. This is why, let's say, for us to get GPMS into China, no, the China government would not allow it. They block it at the servers so that ones in there cannot bring it up. So ones need to know also, that's why GPMS, by everyone agreeing, is taking the lawful ownership of the internet worldwide as well, so that we can bring everyone together, because the governments and their servers are designed with the dark tactics to keep everyone segregated and separated so they can control them and keep inflicting their harmful things on them, making them trying to work 2 or 3 jobs or what have you to survive, to create stress, because stress is negative energy of where the darkness exists. That's why they use the systems to do that, to keep it simple. But I think I'm all done there. Thank you so much. Those were all the notes I had put down for this week. So I'm done. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so thank you so much, because we protect also the ascension. If someone hear about potential or an investigation on metaphysics, please come forward and let us know what it's about there, and if it is already past, what it was your experience. So we gather also the people, as Nia is doing, the parents, for the children to understand the law. Probably it is also the time to give some protection to those that they practice metaphysics, and to start to explain also to other people what metaphysics is, and what it is, the difference between the spirituality, religion, New Age, and other kind of things. So This could be also important discussion that the people may start to share, those that they have the initiative on the ascension, and if the system had a reaction as investigation or something like what happened there and where, what it was the area in the world. So Sister Lodi, it is amazing what you are doing. You gather all the time consent. So the native Indian from the Philippines are the one that they are leaders of GPMS in the world. Please allow us to know what it is happening in the last time.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity again that I can share what I've been doing. Of course, um, they are continuously sending me the list of names and the invitation to visit the brothers and sisters in Palawan. Today I felt, or rather, I received the date when I will visit them. Because the first few days I am a little bit hesitant of choosing the date when, because they were asking that I go there this month of July, but then today I was guided to pick a date on next month, August. So it's about 3 weeks to go. Um, I don't have the funds yet on hand, but I believe that the universe will provide. And whatever activities we are about to do in Palawan, we will be guided as to how and where we will go to meet the communities of the uh, indigenous brothers and sisters there to share more information about GPMS. And I feel this time that I have to spend more days or weeks or months perhaps with them. And I am feeling that it will be a well spent visit, and the virality that we are um, expecting to have this time, it will be accomplished. That's the energy that I am feeling right now. And of course, with what has been discussed early tonight at the meeting, it is, I feel more validations. And I know this is it. I can feel the energy that something is going to happen in the next few weeks that I will visit the brothers and sisters in Palawan this time. So I believe that the guides, the universe, always at our back, and we will accomplish this the soonest possible time. And I am feeling the push that this time I have to be more active and I have to be more excited and what I am doing for GPMS. That's all I can share. Thank you so much.
Sister, do you still have the nectar coming out of your hands? Do you wish to share that?
Yes, yes, always, always. Even if I have just washed my hands, once it dries, it's still sticky. And also with um the flow of electricity, something that tingles, and I know it's this physical vessel is absorbing the energy from the sun. So amazing. It's amazing having those ascension symptoms. And also the buzzing on the ear, it's always there. It's always there. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lodi. Sister Agnes from Germany, what you may say about GPMS in the last time there?
Hi, everyone. Um, I was just writing some things when I heard our conversations today. It was wonderful. Also with Sister Nyaha to see her back on the Sunday, and I had the possibility to travel a little bit and to the area of Germany with the highest poverty. And yes, I can see also here how important it is that divine GPMS will come. And I was talking with some people and sharing the cards. Also, all these conversations, I was asking the people what they would like to change. Are they talking about their life a little bit? And from all these people which I met, there was every of them the opposite of happiness or healthy. And what I also observed regarding the choice, the right choice, and also for this is to have the clarity and to make the right choice, you have to be clear and to make the right decision. And so at the moment I'm doing clearing and cleaning from all things. And what I've also would like to add, which I found very important, is that that a child's voice matters at Divine GPMS. And that's when I was talking with people. I'm a little bit surprised because in this system which we live, the voice of the children doesn't matters. And it's so important also the voice and the view and the perspective was what the children want. That we have it also at Divine-gpms. So not only we, which are adults and talking about it, but the children. And so it was for me moving. And yes, the movement is something which I have with moving to do. And I like it a lot to change my perspective, also to see and to feel why I see the things, and also have after this conversation the view of the people which I talk. And this helps me to get my clarity and just to know when I also share a card, or talk about it. Yeah. thank you very much for letting me speak, and thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much. And if someone else has also something, a subject to develop, this is the moment, because we are already experienced more than 2 hours, probably around 2 hours and a half of the meeting. We know that the span attention is not so long because so many things happen at the same time in the world.
Yeah, I was just checking, Sister Beatrice. No questions, but I believe we had a few more viewers on today on Facebook watching the live stream. Having said this, I believe our last weekly meeting, um, at least on my Facebook page, had the most, when I checked, it was up like 900, almost 1,000 views. And when I compared that, like in the past, it would be like 600, 700, sometimes 300 or 400. But I feel that more are listening and more are watching as well. So this is a good sign. And today I noticed a few more uh, questions, one's commenting in there. So these are great signs as well. And, I feel, yes, that we are very close. I've been in Romania here, and the Father has more or less just kept me on a low profile because of many things that need to play out worldwide. But when you say, Sister Beatrice, I'm with you that Romania was always ready, but it is just no clear reason yet why they are not in big numbers with GPMS. But just because they're not here now in the blink of an eye, they can be under the right conditions because the Romanian people, the Dacian, same as the Philippines, with their experience in their history, they've been through all of this. And even, yes, let's say in the Christian and Islam faith worldwide, the darkness had come in and distorted that, but they never separated the individual from the true God and their connection with it. So that has remained intact. And again, I'll reiterate what Father had said. He said, more or less, Rick, go to Romania, stay there, because those people there in Romania believe in God, and that their form of Christianity is actually in closer alignment with the ascension and with God. And, with in the Orthodox Christianity, and Nya and I were speaking about this, they have kept Uriel in here, and Nya can expand upon that in the belief, but also the Mother Mary and Mother God, the Assumption of the Mother. So they have kept the balance. It has not, let's say, even though you could say it's a patriarch church that was controlling it, they never took away the importance of the feminine and the mother. So that remained intact as well and ingrained within her. And it doesn't matter where you're at in the world with Christianity. If you look at the US, if you look at the Catholic arm of Christianity, all of these things in the past have been distorted and manipulated to some degree, but that trust in God alone remains. There's so many worldwide that do not go to churches, and they believe in God, and they are very good, peaceful, loving people. And when you look at this Jesus revival, this Christ revival also that's occurring worldwide, these ones are not going to churches. They're actually mostly going to the rivers to be baptized. So they're not going to the churches to be baptized in a church. They're actually going to nature and to the water to do this. And that itself is also a very huge statement. But nevertheless, just with Romania, not just because I'm in Romania, this is factual and it's true. Father said to come here because these people are closer to God. And believe this, as well as Russia, Orthodox Christianity had maintained most of the important ingredients for the ascension. It brings in all of the saints, it brings in the mother and the father aspects. It kept it all alive. While you see, for example, with the Catholic, the Pope recently tried to diminish Mother Mary out of the teachings. And that is not in alignment with what God is. God is equality, gender equality, and harmony is balance, not separation of the masculine from the feminine. That is disharmony, that is distortion, and it is imbalance. And that's not what God is really about. But I'll stop there. Thank you.
Yeah, so there is a comment by Maxine. She said Black Americans are indigenous. I would say all of us that we have soul, we are indigenous here. And it is all about that we are the children of God. And many tribes, we come from many tribes that even that Roman Empire change, make some changes. Many of us recognize the true natural law. My movement started with myself, so it's here, Plona. So basically, when I started to think about self-determination and everything like that, I said, we are born free with freedom and rights inside of our DNA. And I was right. I had no idea from where this was coming. It was coming from the universe. And this was around by 2017, when I was also in the United States. I was in the Museum of the Lincoln, and starting from there, I was very attracted towards the self-determination because I try all the time to find a way for the system, because the pyramid really was not working on many cases, as food, water, pollution, or the environment was polluted, and I was aware about. So what I would say with that, we are all born free with our rights and freedom inside of our DNA. So basically we are the universe. We are the multiverse. We are inside of us. We have the universal laws, natural laws. So we recognize that when we are connected with the source, we recognize the natural law. We know what it is, right or wrong, depending on our high connection. When we are losing the connection, and there things bad happens. So on this perspective, to recognize the solution as the implementation of the universal law, it is basically to start to awaken. It is basically to start to recognize how you are. then create an environment that represents you. So what I would say on this competition as the metaphysics is coming forward, just showing us about our true potential, an investigation on metaphysics, on investigation on the Carpathian Mountains energy. It is investigation on metaphysics. An investigation on metaphysics, it is an investigation on humanity. It is an investigation on God, and I would say, especially if something is pop up from Romania, because we had many investigation of this kind there. Romania, it is already known as the Garden of the Mother Mary. It is in our culture. So at this time, after especially the rule of the communism is down, no investigator can say that the Mother Mary is not recognized on the Romania culture. Then from there is no any possibility of investigation on metaphysics. So the investigation should be cut from the beginning. This is what I would say. In the Romania place. In others, I do not know, but in the Romania place, before the culture that we have, this is coming basically against the Romanian people. So it's not possible. Yes, Nia.
Oh, thank you. I just want to add a little bit about what Rick has spoken about through investigations, through some informations from Father and from Divine Council, and also going deeper into the Orthodox Church in Romania. I figured out that I grew up in Austria, and I actually didn't know about Archangel Uriel because she was completely deleted from the Bible. And actually, even though Archangel have both aspects, not aspects, but are female and masculine, Uriel was more feminine. So, and even though, she was not only an archangel, she was even a seraphim, which is very, very close and one of the highest order from Godfather Prime Creator, and is very connected in these times with divine law, divine judgment. So she's the flame of God, and she's still found in the Orthodox Church as well. So it's very interesting that she was erased. And the thing is also, as you can see throughout the history in the past, a lot of very important, intelligent women were erased, right? And I have to say, even the famous Greek philosophist Socrates, his teacher was a woman. So just to let everyone know about this. And yes, and with the Orthodox Church, it's very beautiful. You can see Mother Mary, but you can see also Maria Magdalene. So they are still here, right? And not deleted. So I just wanted to add this because, yes, I feel it is very important, especially for the Divine Feminine, to know how powerful they are, how knowledgeable they are, and how much they are needed in this time to stand up. So, I just have a message for all the divine ones out there. Please remember your mission and what you have signed in this lifetime. And please come back into alignment, stand firm, speak your truth. And as Sister Beatrice already perfectly said, the more you ascend, the more you are normally in alignment with the higher divine laws. And also one thing, Lord Melchizedek, as I have figured out, is very strongly connected as a very wise man. He just appeared out of nowhere, coming in, to anchor divine law. And he's a master architect as well, especially in this time. And he's only called in very special time like this with the universal ascension for judgment time. So just to let everyone know. So thank you so much.
Yeah, so I would say, just to be clear for everyone, I absolutely do not support any investigation on the Romania culture. Romania culture, it is about the truth, it is about metaphysics. And people inside of the Romania culture that they have this culture on their heart recognize the crimes that done by the church, and they recognize even the orthodoxies versus what it is true and right. So I do not support any kind of this investigation, possible investigation, or whatever it is, on the metaphysics, what it is called as metaphysics. This was done in Romania, especially was extremely strong during the communist time. And I remember again, as I said to the beginning of this video, when I was a child and I was asked in the school if I believe on God, I said yes. And at the time, I was not see God. So I was just a believer and I knew, I felt the existence. So it is not necessary to see with the eyes or to hear with the voice to know that this is true and to recognize what it is good versus not. So from there, any possible investigation uh, should be move away, should be probably a discussion and nothing more, but even the word investigation will be too much. I do not support any kind of investigation on metaphysics that basically touch the culture of the Romanian people. Yes, Rick.
Well, I see that it's come to your attention about this, but let's reasonably look at this. Let's say if there's one investigator, or let's say even a team of five investigating this, what they do is they form an opinion. However, if we take, let's say, 18 million in Romania that has a different opinion and doesn't support it, this is only opinion of a few, and it cannot dictate what the others believe or what must occur. See, in this great time, I'll use the same thing as 47,000 politicians worldwide telling 8 billion people, you must suffer, you must be in poverty. But this stupidity of it, if you will, because that's what it is, it's idiotic, is they cannot contain it and cover it up any longer. The people are awakened and the people are the majority. So any little negative investigation, it's only the opinion of a few. But when you have the opinion of the majority, this, if it's a negative investigation, it doesn't go anywhere because it's not supported. This is the same as the 47,000 politicians. It doesn't go anywhere when the majority of the people no longer support that old system. So it's simple. So it fades organically as well, from existence is the point that I wish to make with it. And yes, with energetics, with all of this, I looked a bit at Romania and the intellect of the Romanian people once again. And there's very intelligent Romanians that have studied all these things and professors as well here. And also, try time travel and these sort of things have been studied here with labs, experimental labs also set up. And if you wanted to go more into the truth, what your governments know and knew about time travel, about parallel universes, multidimensionality, they already know about it. But again, I love using Mount Buchegi in the holographic room as an example. What is recorded? The US military could not get inside of this room because it has an energetic electric field that if one is not genuine, if you're military with aggression, what occurs is that this field acts adversely negative on the individual. And when a few US military tried to go in because they're combat soldiers, because of their aggression, they experienced heart attacks, couldn't breathe, they couldn't get in. But one genuine good professor could go in through the field. This is a micro example of what's occurring now worldwide and also with GPMS. If you're not in alignment with positive, good intent, you cannot be in GPMS. So everyone is being given the choice to do the right and moral good things. If not, the longer they hesitate from becoming a part of the divine plan, the more destruction and chaos and negativity they'll experience in their individual lives as well. But once you have one that stops fighting and recognizes what GPMS is and consents and begin taking steps towards even gathering more consents, their whole life begins to change. It begins to be restructured and in alignment with the new free and harmonious reality. Their energetics changes. Yes, all of you, all of us are still here and have come under attack at times from the darkness, but the light perseveres. And these things you learn every time you're attacked by the darkness. And let's say, like Nya, where they attacked her beliefs, look what this has done. It has made her stronger. And also, her story is having a great impact upon all of the other moms and dads that had their children stolen by the system, and it's exposing more and more. And one recent story out of Austria, what Nya shared with me earlier today, was a I think a 12-year-old girl jumped out of a window that was under the child care because a guy from a private child care come to get her, and he actually, I think, got horns on his head that he had made and all full of tattoos. It's obvious, that for us, he belongs to some sort of a satanic group. Now, why would someone like that come to take children to a private home? How revealing is this? But what we're seeing is more of these crazy things that people didn't think exist. They're being revealed to the public because this is all part of the revelations of exposing the real darkness. And I'll say this again, the entire judicial system in Austria is connected to darkness. They're upholding the family youth services at taking children from parents. It's dark, it's sinister. And when we have like 3 to 4 judges that openly said, oh, there's something wrong with Nya because she believes in angels and we got to take her children, how revealing and obvious is that the judicial system has an underlying nefarious intent to take the children? So you don't have to be very smart to figure this out. And when a horned humanoid comes to take a child to a private children's home, anyone can see what's occurring with this. It becomes even more blatant. So I don't even need to explain it. But this is the dark world. These are only a couple examples of thousands and thousands. You know, with the Epstein files, one of the newest ones, I believe, was she sits on the UN. She had a vote for Norway, and she makes decisions in the UN that deals with human rights. So she has a vote when they were voting on things. But the thing is, if this one was with Epstein and everything that was going on with the children, it shows her vote is compromised. But when you look at such human rights initiatives and organizations like the UN, and you have two revealed or more so far that they were actually dark, then the existing ones on the UN, are they also all dark? And these are the things that you're going to see, because when you don't see any, let's take all of the European countries, when you don't see any prime minister or leader of those countries to stand up for what is right, and when they don't stand up with GPMS, when they have been given this divine order to do it, it begins to expose and reveal more about them individually and their government, their policy, their party, and their policies. Because GPMS ends all suffering worldwide, it ends all war, it puts the world into absolute peace. Now, if anyone wanted to look back at the signs about the Antichrist, with the peace agreements, what was signed, which was disillusionment, you might want to visit the Abraham Accord that was signed by Trump perhaps 4.5, 5 years ago. But that was to come midway a tribulation period where the Antichrist would be exposed before the real, truthful, divine peace accord came to the earth. So the darkness had to be identified. This has already occurred. The Antichrist, there is more than one, had to be exposed, and they have already been revealed. So we are in the beginning, we are in the end times of the judgments, nearing the end. Much sentencing has already occurred, but we're just not in the new beginning of the new earth yet, but we're very close. And at any moment, we can go viral. As Sister Lodi in the Philippines is saying, it's very possible, even here in Romania or worldwide. It can happen in the blink of an eye because everything is set up for this to occur. It is the divine plan. All of these awakening in Jesus Christ and wanting to be like Jesus Christ with the revival, those are the good things. Jesus spoke about love your neighbor, peace, harmony, not agreeing with the false laws of the Pharisees, which is the artificial laws today. I had some company. Thank you.
Yeah, so I was looking a little bit on the comments. There are no question. I was looking a little bit on the audience. The audience reached this month around 800, and yes, as Rick said in the last week, 1,000. So we invite everyone to start to speak in our open public or Dwight meetings. And just remember, it is not about one individual or a group of the individual, it is about all of us. Self-determination, it is about all of us. Then we just need to move forward as one and let an environment that represents us as divine to happen. So let it be. Thank you so much for everyone that join our meetings and support the discussion and moving forward with the presence of GPMS via meetings, public meetings. And we'll see each other next time. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day. So I cannot